Hmm. What is going on with this black screen? Huh. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Sensation. Let's see. Close. Mm-hmm. It's super weird. Share edit. Hmm. Instances. Wow. Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Wow, this is weird. Well, hi, Marcel Patrick. How are you doing? Tell me if you can see me. For some reason, for the last 2 days, my screen gives me a black screen, so I can't see. Like I can't position my camera in any kind of way because I can't see me. So let me know if you can see me. But I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. I see you clearly. That is weird. I see black. So I don't know. I guess I like I said yesterday, I don't have to see me just as long as y'all see me. I'm just waiting. I know the YouTube streets are hot right now, but I like to just stay consistent on my channel regardless of what's going on in other channels. So I decided to come on. Well, I was a little bit late, but I decided to come on at the 3 o'clock that I promised to have the discussion about if there's a time or when is the time to actually give your children to CPS. So I know that I'm piggybacking off of a situation that's going viral, and I don't know much about it. Hi, Angela. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Angela. I don't know much about that situation, so I wanted to not look up anything about the situation before I had the conversation on my channel because I don't want to be biased. Um I want my genuine input on it without knowing what's going on with that. So no, I haven't gotten a chance to do it. I'm here at work, but I'll definitely be listening. Okay, thanks, Mark. I appreciate you. Hi, Abdul. How you doing today? Yeah, you don't know about it either, Angela. Okay, so apparently there's a viral story. I saw a little bit. Yep, I saw it. Justice was actually talking. I heard about it vaguely, but I didn't hear like many details at all. I listened to Justice's chat, and I know the gist of it is there's a lady who walked her children into CPS. Now, I guess there's been a couple of interviews. I don't know what those interviews were about or anything like that. I heard it was a good interview, but I don't even know exactly who the interview was with. So I'm totally in the blind, but I actually wanted to go and have the discussion before I actually saw anything about it because I just have some opinion. I mean, I have a couple opinions, but I want to hear the opinion of you guys about if you think there is a time where it's okay to be able to hand your children over to the CPS. If you think it's okay, or when do you think it's okay? Let's see. Abdul said he's doing pretty good. Good, Abdul. Hi, Miss Two. How you doing? Yes, you finally caught a live. Thanks for coming in. Did you get a chance to get what the content is going to be about, Miss Two? Let's see. Angela says all I know is she dropped them off because she was tired. Lord knows that's not a good reason. Okay, so Andrew, you're saying when a mom is saying they're tired, that's still not a good reason to drop off their children. That's your opinion on that? Okay, Miss Two, she got it. Good, good, good. Okay, Abdul said, I'm not surprised. Some parents are just having kids for a check. I'm not surprised. This is not my first time hearing about this. Okay, so everybody put a one in the chat if you feel like there is no reason on this earth to hand your children over to CPS. Put a one in the chat if you feel like there is no reason. I was going to say another number if you do, but if you guys put the number one in the chat saying you don't believe there's a reason in this world, then I'll know what the other opinion is. Absolutely, because it's oh, that's hard as in my way in the chat. How did I get that hard off of there? I don't even know if that's over there. Okay, so Abdullah said no reason in the world. I just say absolutely because it comes with the territory. Angela said that being tired comes with the territory of being a mom. Hi, Saret. Saret came in good. No reason at all. Abdul said one. Angela said no reason at all because we signed up for that the moment we get pregnant. Mark said, I think there are reasons. Mark, can you please put one or two reasons like not a specific, reason specific to any person, but in your eyes, what is like, can you give me an example of one or two reasons that would be in your eyes a good reason to, or a good enough reason? I'm not gonna say it's a good reason, but a good enough reason to make that decision. So, Red, are you putting a one in the chat? One in the chat is for if you are a person that's saying that there's absolutely no reason you can see. Hey, Lala Nick, lit up in that green on the screen today. Thanks to Angela. Okay, so Red and Lala Nick, both y'all are in here. Y'all let me know. Do y'all think, because everybody else has pretty much answered, put a one in the chat if you think that there's absolutely no reason in the world that a mom will have for delivering her children to CPS. Let me know what y'all think about that. I really want to know. And the thing about it is like, I'm like not even wanting to give an opinion because just now I can say for me, it is absolutely nothing in the world that would have happened other than maybe somebody slipped something in my drink and I lost my mind to take them. But I don't want to discredit anybody who does that because what if the mental illness is what takes them? What if they're in a situation that they're in harm and they can't get their way? They can't see their way out. Would they do it? I don't want to discredit anybody else's opinion, even though me personally, I don't think it's anything in the world that would make me do it. That does not mean that it's not a valid reason for somebody else not to do it. Mark says if you're not capable and don't have family willing to take care, when I say not capable, I don't mean just being tired. Okay. Like you mean capable, like maybe financially you literally can't feed them. You can't do it because of maybe mental health issues or you're a stage in your life where you're mentally unstable. You're scared that you might be capable of hurting your child. Let me know if that's what you mean, Mark. Let's see. So I can't say that there is no reason. I can't say that there is no reason, right? That's what I feel like. I feel like because I haven't been in every situation, I can't say that there is no reason. No, I would not. I'm going to stand on no. Something would have to happen in my life for my no to be a yes. But I don't want to say that that's the same for anybody else. In my life, I've always had a great support system, and I never have to get in a situation where my kids had to be tired. I had to be tired from them, so I can't like speak on that. I don't want to judge another situation that I've never been in. Miss Two said it depends on if she has mental issues, and she feels like the moment she's at her wits end, and it's fine. And it's fine. Then it's fine. But if she's just tired, then not so much. Just if she just want to say I'm just tired, not so much in that case. But she said it depends on the mental issues that she's having and the feeling that she might have at that time that she's at her wits end. Lala Nick said could be a reason. Lala Nick said there could be a reason. Suresh said yes, they may have a reason. Yes, we just probably if we've never been in that situation, we don't know if that's a reason. I'd rather kids be given to the system than for them to be on shirts because of mental instability. Yes, hey Chris. Hey, get my and Miles and chat. Finish up your work. Good. Thanks for coming in, Chris. Okay, everybody said hi to Chris. Okay, Lala Nick said financial, getting out of an abusive relationship, maybe sickness, and you feel you have no other way. Hi, Janae. How are you? How are you doing? Thanks for coming into the chat. Angela said, well, I guess mentally exhausted could be a good reason. Mark said, not all, let's see, not all kids that get in the system go to bad families either. And I think that's the thing that's good. That I don't want to have an opinion about people who feel like they have to do that because obviously they're in a situation that I've never been in, so I don't want to judge that. But because I personally know of times where parents where I know parents who have actually unalived their children, and I know foster parents that have unalived people children. So it's like I think if anything happened in my life and if I thought I couldn't take anymore, I don't know what I would do in that case because to actually hand them over to a situation that could just go all bad, like they could be in a triple worse situation than they would have been with me. Like if I would have had them just simply not to eat a meal, like if they just couldn't eat breakfast or they had to eat once a day or something like that, if they go into a foster situation or something like that and people may be molesting or physically abusing them or mentally abusing them, I think that part is what's scary. Although I know plenty of foster homes that are the best thing that ever happened to kids. I used to be one of them. I have custody of my ex-husband's six sisters, six children. And so I know that that was before I had my children. And actually, I had them. Oh, I don't know why my computer does that. Y'all. I already can't see myself and it's going black too. Um, I had those six, and that was like before I had my own children, and I had them up until Asia was born. But but I had them for like 2 years with my son, and of course they were like we were foster, but we were family too, and I wanted nothing but the best for them. So there are maybe I don't know as many foster homes that want the best for the children as there are foster homes of people that would do harm to them. Although even as a parent, there are probably just as many good parents as there are parents that would do harm to their own children. So that's the scary thing when you have to let them enter a space that you don't know what's behind those closed doors. Hi Jim, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. Miss Two, at this and the system is the lesser of the two evils. To be for real about it, you think? Okay, Miss Two says she believes that the system is going to be lesser of the two evils, saying that the to let me know if I'm wrong or right, Miss Two. She's saying that when you say a parent who's not able to take care of their child for whatever reason, and the foster situation that the child might go into, she feels like the system is a lesser evil and they would be better off. Okay, and Janae is agreeing with that. Lala Nick said, I'd rather them go to CPS than parents do something they regret. Exactly. That's the thing. Like literally, I know someone whose dad unalived their child. They were no longer together. The baby went over there to visit the dad, and he literally shook her to death. So that's why it's like it's a rock and a hard place. Let's see. Do you feel like the kids should have to go back to a parent if the parent gets their life together? Mark. Mark. Hmm. That's a question. I feel like I feel like people can go through things. Like if people like maybe some people in the chat say if they went through something 3 or 4 years ago, is that a merit for how they are going to be for the rest of their life? And when children are Like, what if it was like a really bad financial situation? The parent didn't have a job, really felt like they couldn't feed their child, all these things, but then later on they do better, they get a job, their mind is clear, they were able to do some things that they probably wouldn't have been able to do with their child. They should have to not have custody of their child for that reason for the rest of their life. Is deep. Is deep. And I think that in my opinion, I think that there is absolute proof that they've gotten themselves together. I think that they should be able to get their kids back. That's because if it was something within them to give their child up, and they went and without their children fought to do all they needed to do to be the parents they need to be, in my opinion, I would say to give them back. But I know some people are like, if you were able to do that, you don't have any genuine love for the kids. I don't know. Y'all tell me in the chat what y'all think about. What's your opinion about that? Justice said, hey, Justice, there are reasons when the child or parent are in danger. Yes, and there's no family support to take the children. That's the sad thing about it. A lot of people are like, well, because I was like, in Justice's chat, even though I don't know the situation that she was talking about, when I was thinking about that, I was like, but where are the grandparents? Because I'm thinking about me as a grandparent. I'm looking like I would have snatched those kids from her a long time ago. But first of all grandparents are not willing to do that. They may not be capable of doing that. They might not have the health or the financial stability to do that. They might not be mentally able to do that. They might not even be in the same state to be able to do that. It could be a lot of different reasons why they can't do it. So you really can't push a support system off on someone without knowing what the situation is, because what if the grandparent or the brother or sister will be a worse situation than the parent themselves? And just said, if you absolutely have to make a decision to not want them, then please don't unalive them. Yes, and just give them away. Just do it properly and get the help you need to get them back. Now that, Angela, I really agree on that. Just do it before you do anything crazy to them. It's all because we always want to say, how dare you give your child to CPS? But then when they drive him in the lake, we want to say, how dare you drive him in the lake? You should have gave him away. You should have did this. You should have did that. We always want to say that, but like, which one do we want? We probably, if we weighed up the two, we'll say, okay, give the kids away. So if they are doing that, and we don't know how far or how long, we don't know how far things got, and we don't know how long they actually thought about this. What if she sat on this for 2 or 3 years? Like, I just cannot. I've tried for 2 years, 3 years, a year, whatever it is, and she just felt like she needed to do, or he, or whatever the situation is, they feel like they need to do what they need to do for their child. How do we judge that without knowing a specific situation? Yes, the people who are on drugs, before you leave the baby, 6-month-old baby in the house, you should give them away. Should the person who's saying, I got a boyfriend, I really like him, the boyfriend don't really like my kids, it's easier for me to just give them away so they're not in the way. Should you be giving your kids up? No, you should be giving him up if that's the case. So I think it's like case by case. I really think it's case by case. Chris said, I'm a former school administrator and I had to report. It's not my job to investigate, but it's my duty to protect all kids, right? To protect all kids at whatever state, right, Chris? Yes. When you're mandated, you're mandated. Janae said, wow, God bless you for taking those children. Oh, yeah. It was, and you know what? It was not even her. A lot of people, everywhere we went, people used to always say, oh, my God, your kids are so well behaved, or whatever. Those kids, if I'm honest, it was like a chore. But I didn't have any kids then. And so I literally ran it almost like a daycare. Like, I made sure I had a schedule. We used to do a lot of fun things. I got them out so they could like burn up that energy. I don't know. It was like more, I would say it was more fun than it was a burden or anything like that. Like, I really had fun with the kids. And again, I didn't have my own kids at that time, so I probably had more energy for it. But they were really some fun kids. They were very well behaved from the beginning. I think one of them used to kind of push back a little bit, but then he ended up being a sweetheart before they left. I think we had him about, did we have him? Oh, we had him about 2 years. I think we had him about 2 years. Yes. And their mom was just at that time, She probably was on drugs. It wasn't like heavy drugs. She was on drugs, but she was a stripper, so she was always out of town. She'll leave the kids by themselves. So the family just came together and wanted to get them a more stable situation. So we didn't have any kids. We had the room for them. So we decided to, my husband at the time, which is my children's father, we decided to take them in. So yes. And then unfortunately, their mom just passed away. That was back in like 90 or so. But their mom just passed away, I'll say about 3, maybe 4 years ago. Yes, she passed away about 3 or 4 years ago. And before she passed away, her and her kids had a wonderful relationship. They did. They really forgave. I believe that they really forgave her for everything that transpired while they were little. Let's see. Hey, Shonda Thoughts, thanks for coming over. Let's see, Chris said, I've seen so many devastating situations. Chris, devastating situations, like inside of the home with the parents, or was it like a foster situation? Lala Nick said, I do, Mark. I think it's supposed to be the goal if possible. Okay, she said, yes, she thinks those parents should be able to get those kids back. That should be the goal. Chris said hello to everyone in the chat. Please hit the like button. Mark said, la, but if you take in a child from birth, maybe you have them for so many years, would you have no problem giving them back? Now, I have a situation like that that I have had in my life with, not my life, but someone I know. They actually did get the child and they did end up adopting the child, but it was not an issue with the parent to get them back. So I know that there has to be situations out there that if I don't know what I would do if I had a child. I fostered a child and I end up adopting a child, whatever the situation, maybe not adopt because that would be the end of it, but I fostered a child for 5 years. Just think having them for the first 5 years. If someone tried to come and take that child from me, I wouldn't care how much blood you have running in your veins. I would have to fight for that child like the child is mine. So that's a deep situation. Like, I wouldn't want, all I can say is I would never be able to put myself in those shoes. I would never take a child long term like that if I was a foster parent, because I know it would be a problem for me. It would be a problem for me. So I wouldn't even put myself in those shoes. Most people, or I'm not going to say most people, but hopefully in those situations that the parents understand, appreciate what the person did for them at the time when they need them, and they would allow that person to be in their life, at least let them be in their life. Yes. Okay. Sweat said it shouldn't. Sweat said kids need their parent. However, the parent have to be healthy as well. Yes, if you're going to take care of the child for their well-being, I don't care if it's the mother, father, foster, whoever you are, somebody has to step in, and that's when the when CPS steps in to try to see what's the better situation for the child. And I do believe most of the time CPS does try to do that, because even though they make some wrong calls sometimes, they try to do that because they actually do all they can before they take those rights from the parent. Like, no matter how long I had my nieces and nephews that I had, my children's father, sisters, children, we had them, we still had to comply with whatever she really wanted, but she didn't fight us. She let us have it, but she still had to say so because we had not adopted them. So the CPS was still working with her for years and years. I don't know if they ever got, I don't think they ever got adopted out. It's just that CPS worked with her for years and years, trying to be open to the fact that if she wanted to come back and get her kids, she could. And they usually will work towards that if they can, because that's usually their goal. Let's see. Miss Tu said you kind of said it right. Basically, playing like Russian roulette, yeah, with the children's livelihood. Yeah, basically it is. It really is. Chris said it is a part of the parent story, though. I think it depends on the circumstances. Absolutely. I think it depends on everything depends on circumstance, because it's no straight and narrow when it comes to something like that, because there's so many reasons why somebody would have, like we said, it could be financial, mental, emotional. It could be so many different things that we can't put it in a box. It's not in a yes or no situation. It's not black and white. It's just so much of a gray area that it literally has to be case by case. I think I don't know. Chris said every story is different. Yes, yes. Every story is different. And I don't think there can be a blanket statement, right, Chris? That's what I was just saying. There's no way that you can just say yes or no. It's just no way. It's no way. Hi, Janae. Janae said definitely case by case. Yes, because let me see, both biological parents and foster parents. Okay, for the both of them, yes. Because the thing about it, say if a parent has lost their job and they've lost their job over time and they honestly really were trying to find a job, they end up losing their housing. Now they no longer have a house. So if they don't have a support system at all, and if there's not a shelter maybe that will have them, then that means that they could possibly be outside. What if not at this point? What if they don't have a car? So you're not going to walk around. Say they have 3 kids. Say they're 6 months, 1 and 2. You're not going to walk around all day and night with a 6 month, 1 or 2 year old. So basically, and then if you live in a state like me, it could be below zero. So at that point, what would that parent have to do? If the parent does not have the shelter because they lost a job, they were working, and if they don't have unemployment, so now they have no income, so they lost the house, and if they didn't have a car, and if they couldn't go to a shelter, and they don't have a support system, what would they have to do? What if there was any other thing you can do? I want you to put it in the chat because I'm just interested in knowing what another. I don't know of another option because I've never been in that situation. But if you know of someone or you know a story, tell me what another option would be for you to take advantage of if that was the case. So I'm thinking in cases like that, what would it be? Let's see. Different case by case. Chris said, but okay. So yes, y'all let me know. I want to know like what can you do? Like even though I said that I don't think it's anything in this world. I don't care if I had to break into an abandoned house to house my kids. But if the person don't want to be breaking in nobody's house or doing nothing like that, if they feel like I'm gonna break in today, what I'm gonna do tomorrow, and if all those things were against them, what is another option that they could take? They could actually go ahead and go with before they walk them into CPS. I'm waiting on y'all. Let's see. Anybody coming back with that? Anybody coming back with the answer? Y'all tell me. Nobody has the answer for that. Let's see. Chris said, rephrase the question. I would say, Chris, I'm waiting too because I don't know. Okay, Lala said she's waiting. She don't know. No, we said no shelter room. We said where they were, no shelter room, Justice. We said this is a parent for you, Chris. We said this is a parent who was working, lost her job for whatever reason, wasn't eligible for unemployment. She did so now she has no income. Maybe the most she could do is go apply for food stamps, but no monetary income coming in. And she loses her house because of a loss of income. Maybe she didn't have a car and she's living in a state like Wisconsin where it will be wintertime basically. And if no shelters are open, no shelter has any beds to take her in. And before she decides to walk her children 24 hours a day outside in below zero weather, what's another option? What might be one more option they could take before they say, before I let my child get frozen to death outside, and no family, Janae, no family, no support system. We said no support system, no support system. Everybody doesn't have to have a brother or sister, and people can no longer have their parents, or the parents can be in a different state, or what if those parents wasn't even capable of taking care of them, so they couldn't take care of the grandchildren? Like, what's another step? And no family. I would do everything I could to keep my baby safe. Is that including taking them to CPS at that point, Chris? Are you including that? Celeste said, it's a sad day, but you have to make the hard decisions. Right. Janae said, I'm sleeping At the fire station. Janae, I'm with you. Like, I'm just thinking, but I'm thinking, I think Justice touched on this. I think, I don't know if she was specifically talking about that situation she was talking about, but I was thinking that I agree with Justice when I say that there has to be a mental issue going on. Not saying that you were born mentally ill, not saying you're like schizophrenic, but saying that at that time, even if it's a temporary situation, you have to have some temporary things going on mentally. Maybe the circumstances that are happening in your life right now is causing you to think in a way you normally don't think, or maybe something had the stress of something else has pushed you in a space where you are. So maybe I'm saying not even having to be permanent mental illness, but even a temporary mental illness, something may be going on in the brain where saying I cannot do it. I cannot do it. So maybe if you're at that point, you're not thinking about fire stations or shelters or anything like that, because maybe something is not clicking and in your mind right then to be able to say you can keep your kids safe. Let's see, Chris. What's the name of that Will Smith movie? With him and his son. I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking about. What y'all? Somebody got to know. It was him and his son sleeping homeless, and the reason why I know that because some of the seen the preview before. Somebody knows that. Somebody's going to put it in there. I know exactly. Let me see. I know exactly what you're talking about. Will Smith. Pursuit of Happiness. There you go. Sweat got it. Pursuit of Happiness. Yes, but I didn't get a chance to see that. Was it something like that? Let's see, Lady Charisma. I would go to a fire station or a police station or a hospital. But Lady Charisma, what's going to happen when you go to the fire station? They don't let people live at the fire station. What's going to happen when you go to the police station? Nobody lives at the police station. When you go to the hospital, what's going to happen, Lady Charisma? They're not letting you stay there with your kids. Only thing the fire station or the police station or the hospital is going to do, they're going to be the first ones to quit call CPS. So only they're not going to let you stay there. Lady Christmas saying where it's warm, and that's what a mom will be thinking. That's what a mom will be thinking that's trying to fight for the stability of staying with her family. That is going to be doing anything by any means necessary. Like I said, I think I'll just start seeking out abandoned houses, and I think we'll just have to live in an abandoned house. But to realistically, how long will I be able to do it? Did the person try that already, and then the people came and got them out of the house, locked the doors, locked the windows? Like, this thing could go on and on. I hope not that it's a situation where a parent is having a couple of isolated incidents and makes that decision. I'm thinking, what do we do with the parents that has tried to exhaust every resource they possibly can to make the situation better than actually what it would have to be with actually giving their child up. Janae said, we'll just be outside every morning applying for shelter. Oh, I've seen it happen before. Right. The pursuit of happiness. Yes. Chris said she problem solve. She would just problem solve. She would just have to solve the problem, which most mothers probably do every day, all the time. But there would have to be a point, a time when we sacrifice our pride and do what's best for my kid. Okay. Right, Janae, me too. Okay, Chris said they're going to report because they have to. It's mandated. It's mandated. That's what I'm saying. They're going to be the first ones. They have to do it first. They're usually the people that they call first when somebody else called. They have to do it. Let's see. Angela said, we have a Dropbox here in Alabama now. And at first I was so mad about it, but I thought about the baby is in better hands at least and have a possible chance of survive. What is a Dropbox? I never heard of a Dropbox. What is that, Angela? Right. Chris, like a baby Dropbox? What is that? Let's see. Lady Christmas said they find a place for you to go. Oh, Lady Christmas said the police station, the shelter, or the hospital will find a place for you to go in your city, in the city she's in. That's nice. Angela, we trying to find out about this Dropbox. Let's see. Justice says CPS will be notified and in many states reported when in contact with law enforcement, fire department, the hospitals. Yep. Yep. Immediately. Lady Christmas said, I guess it depends on the situation is for that parent. Yes, Lady Christmas. Absolutely. I guess that's all it boils down to. What can we do? Like, what can people do? Like, as a community, if someone, like, I don't know, like, I need to hear more about this. Dropbox, yes. Angela, we're waiting on the drop. Maybe she's typing. She might be typing, Chris. She might be typing. That is true, Lady Charisma. Lala Nick said, I thought the Dropbox was a good idea myself. Okay, Lala Nick knows about the Dropbox too. Miss Two said, and also we don't have villages no more to help. Absolutely, because it would I would be like, I'll see a Kim Surrender Janae will go, right? Get a kid each until I'm saying, you better say that, Miss Sue. You better say that. You better say that. That's the whole thing. I don't even know. Can I even highlight that? I don't even know if I can highlight that. Let's see. Nope. Oh, pin a message. I don't even know how if I'm pinning it. But I'm sure I'll try to pin it. That's the whole thing right there, Miss Sue. You got it. You got it. Cause I'm looking like I don't know what that looks like because now my mother was never the type to say drop no kids off at her house. My mama was out on the go. She was like she had a business at the time. She worked. Her and my dad loved her some Potawatomi, which is a casino. They like to do different things. They love to be building on stuff all the time. So they were like busy grandparents. So even though they wanted us there for every holiday, they wanted us to come sit in their face at their house when they got home. They wanted to make breakfast for us. They wanted to do all that. She just wouldn't with saying, okay, I'm getting ready to be responsible for the child all night long. That was going a bit far for my mama. So she never really been that kind of person. So, but I still had my sister. I had the kids' father. I had the my husbands that would help me. I had like my cousin if I would have asked for help, but my sister was such a help in that situation. Like I never felt like I was tired, but like if I'm going out of town and the kids are not going this time, she would get them. Or if I'm like, okay, I'm going out, I could drop them off over there or whatever the case was. So I always had somebody that was there and it was never a question. I had a niece who lived with me for a while and she was, of course, she was an adult and she was just there all the time. So even though she was there, since she was there, it was never a question about having to be able to go out and navigate anything at all because she was always there along with my sister in case she wasn't there for the year she wasn't there. So I have no idea what that looks like. That's why I don't want to judge somebody's story because when I look back on it, I was never put in a position like that. I absolutely was never put in a position like that. Let's see, you put the baby. Okay, here's the Dropbox. You put the baby in it, and a siren buzzer goes off when the baby. Hold on. When the get a baby in it. Okay, she said. I think that she said there's a place. You put the baby in there. A siren goes off when the baby is in there. So I guess that gives the parent or the person of time to go away. The buzzer goes off, and probably the police comes. Maybe Chris said we can provide resources, hire the right legislators, empower nonprofits, especially with under marginalized populations. Oh, I want to pin that. Chris said these are all the things. Replace the pin message. Okay, Chris is saying these are all. I don't even know if this stuff is pinning, y'all. I can't see. I don't even know where it would have pinned to. Oh, there it is up there. I'm pinning them. Okay, yes. Chris is saying, what can we do? These are the things that we can do to try to make a change. And I guess that's about all we can do because if we're not in the lives of knowing people personally going through this, it's nothing that we can do because we wouldn't even know that things like this is going on unless it goes viral at this point. So those are the things that we could definitely do. Let's see. Say right to justice. Did I miss justice? Let me make sure. Yeah, that they'll be notified. Okay. Let's see. It's definitely about community. Times have definitely changed, yes, and it's changed so much that the family that used to step in when we had our children, it's like the families are different now. So like literally, we need like outside communities to like join together to say that they're going to replace what used to be in our family units. Then we say you can only use a Dropbox and many cities she means when the baby is only so many days old. Otherwise, it could be considered abandonment. So, just as they have so many days, you're saying they have so many days to utilize that box, or it becomes an issue with the legally or something. Chris said, "Oh wow, Angela, every state should have that." Yes, I've never heard. If we have, I'm not going to say we don't have it. I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. Justice said that's in so many states. Okay. Angela says they're called safe haven boxes. Is it an actual box though? It's an actual box? Wow. I'm right, Chris. Like, really? Janae says true. Nobody trusts people anymore as they should. But yes, times are definitely more hard. Yes, that's the thing too, Janae. Even when we think that we can trust people, people's minds are so much more twisted than it used to be that you just don't know. These poor kids just are in situations that are, my God, try putting a 7-year old in a drop box, right? Like, how big is the box? Yes, Angela. Yes, that part, that part. Janae says a Dropbox sounds crazy, but I'm glad these are semi-safe ways to protect children. Yes, at least there's something in place. It's good. Like, I don't care if it's a box, if it's a ball, whatever it is. If it means that you can protect the child, put them in it. They'll be okay. If a buzzer goes off, if they're going in the box, they're only gonna be there for a few minutes. They got a system where the police comes. Okay, the police will be there to get them out the box. They will be okay. Let's say in some states the boxes can only be used for baby only 72. How do they know if the baby is 72 hours old? How would they ever know how many hours old the baby is? Let's see, Lady Christmas. So, Gamma, I was just thinking it may not be a CPS type of situation. It could be like, like, dang, I just got, all right, I just got it. Like, I just got evicted today and need somewhere to go. Absolutely. Hold on, y'all. Okay, let's see. Right, Lady Charisma. Right. Just need somewhere to go. That's something. And all of the government, and I know that governments, they have to like be very cautious about having places where people can just simply go. Because I'm sure some people would rather do that than to go somewhere like pay rent or whatever. But like, it just needs to be some kind of screening to make sure that that's not the case, so that they can help people who really need the help. And I'm sure some states probably do have something like that set up. So many days or even hours according to the states. Okay. I mean, surrender within 72 hours of birth. So they have 72 hours to make that decision. Hmm. Do they have a Dropbox for teenagers? Right, Lady Charisma. Because sometimes the teenagers are out there. Like a lot of we are always more sympathetic to babies because we feel like they're, so helpless or whatever. But what about a 9 or 10-year-old? That happens to them too. It might be a baby and a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old, and all age groups are going through that. And what's unfortunate is the older that a baby is, the harder it is to find housing for them. And that's sad. Andrew said, yes, it's actually a small box. Okay. Like window size, maybe a little small area. I think it's useful for these teenagers that are scared and ashamed only because, wait, I don't know. Am I right? Oh, yeah. I think it's useful for these teenagers that are scared and ashamed only because it's better than the alternative. Okay. I agree with that, Angela. Chris says for school age children, that's why it's vital to have the right adults in schools. Exactly. Exactly. We are trained on seeing the signs, yes, knowing which resources to use, because yes, it doesn't always require CPS. Yes, some schools you have now, and it's funny because some schools they know they're mandated. So if every opportunity they get, they'll call CPS straight out, depending on the person. You said right adults, because they'll call. But then also you'll have a school that will work with that parent. If they have a social worker, they'll try to go out to that house of that parent, see what they need, see what resources they could use. So it really depends on the adults that actually work in that school. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Let's see. Miss Two said, "I have a crisis. We have a crisis center, but you only can drop off 72 hours. Oh my gosh, is that after birth? 72 hours, and then you have to come back and get them. Okay, now that I know we have here, my student support service team at my former school was on it. Okay, we did not play it all right. Some schools don't play, but as to what Miss Two just said, I do know here. Well, I guess they still have it. I heard about it years ago. I think my kids were pretty young when I heard about that, but I heard about it through this one lady I knew. I think she had 6 or 7 children. I can't remember what she had. She had 6 or 7 kids, but it was actually a nonprofit daycare center that the kids did not have to be enrolled in a daycare, but they had a respite care program. So that literally over the weekend at nighttime, if it was a parent that said, you know what, I cannot take it no more, I have to have a break, they could leave their kids there up to 3 days and come back and just get the kids. They allowed them to enroll, whenever they can. They didn't have to be enrolled in daycare. If they woke up on Friday morning and said that I need a break, they can come sign those kids up for up to 3 days and get a break and come back and get their kids. And it was just some kind of respite care that they had at a nonprofit daycare center that offered that to the community. And I thought that was so different. I was like, wow, so I'm like, you just take your kids there. And I guess it's set up like a daycare. You just drop them off. People are there to take care of them. And that was that. And there was no CPS brought into it, no reports made of it. It's what they offer as a community to parents. So let's see the student support. But on it, okay, Chris said, wait, you got to come back and get them. Yeah, yep, you had to come back and get them 3 days. 3 days. Just as that called the baby Moses. Okay, Lady Christmas said, is that called the baby Moses law, Justin? Yes, Chris. Yep, you definitely had to come back and get them. It was just like almost dropping them off in daycare. Like, yes. That sounds like a helpful program. Yeah, I thought it was. I was like, really? And I'm like, so you just drop the kids off and like literally, I said, I guess it's not much different than like daycare. It really was not. Mia, can you pass me a bottle of water? It really was not a lot different from daycare. You just drop them off. They had program. They had like a whole schedule for them. They still followed the daily schedule like a daycare. Thank you, baby. Like a daycare and everything. But it was just the respite care. We might still have those, but I have small children, so I don't know. I'm not in contact with a lot of young mothers, so I don't know. Let's see. It was helpful, Lala Nick. That's a good program. Yes. Hit the like button, everyone coming in. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all, Janae. Who feeds the children for 3 days? No, it's a whole program. It's a builder. It looks like it was a daycare. It was a daycare, but they just had a community program within the daycare. So the kids that were dropped off for the respite care were, I believe she said they were separate from the day-to-day daycare children. So they would just come and it was set up. I guess she said they followed a schedule. They did everything like a daycare. It's just that they slept there, woke up the next day, and they got fed the meals just like they would be at daycare. Janae. Most of the women just use it for babysitting while they party on the weekend. You think somebody's probably so? I'm sure somebody did that. I'm sure somebody did that. That's for sure. Yes, the safe haven law is called. That's called the safe Lady Charisma. That's called the safe haven law. I'd love to see if that's available in your county. You should call. You might be able to call like a Department of Family Services or you may be able to call a child daycare licensing and ask them if there's a daycare that provides respite care for children overnight, and they probably could tell you those two departments are probably what is funded under, or if you and not funded under, but who they're licensed to be able to do that under. Because I'm sure some licensing is in play with that. Let me see. But at least the kids was fed and safe. Yeah, they are fed. They were fed and safe. That to my knowledge, she didn't have a problem with it. I think she used that for years. I think she used it for years, and I think you could do it up to like twice a month or something, once or twice a month. I think they had a limit on how often you could use it, but like once or twice a month, up to 3 days each time. I remember that. Let's see. Andrew said, y'all, I swear I saw a YouTube shirt where a lady dropped a 4 year old off at a overnight daycare. The lies you tell, because I would never, for any reason, do that. I swear, y'all, I swear I saw a YouTube shirt where a lady dropped short. Maybe you said short. A YouTube short where a lady dropped their 4 year old off at an overnight daycare. The lies you tell. Wait, what is the part with the lies you tell part, Angela? The lies you tell, because I would never, for any reason, do that. Why did she drop the child off at the overnight daycare? Did they provide services for third shift or something? Janae said, "I never heard of these services. It's good to know to share with my youngest that may be struggling." Yes, Janae, have them go look or search it out, or if you got time to search it out and you can find like the building where it's located and just be able to straight let them know where it is. That'll be good. Short, you may okay, Angela. Miss Two, my daughter did her community service hours there for high school. Okay, nice. Chris said, now, Angela, they do have overnight daycares. Yeah, that's why I was asking her, was it third shift? Because, daycares have first, second, and third shift where parents have to work. Oh, yeah, where parents have to work second, third shift, but they pay or receive a voucher. Yes. Mm-hmm. Angela said, I was saying sarcastically, I have no idea why anyone would do that. Hey, I hate the way this heart on my screen covers up. I don't know why they would do that. But she looked young. Oh, okay, Chris. Yeah, yeah. They do have first, second, and third shift daycare centers. So that could have been, I don't know. But I guess once they pay for the hours, whether the state is paying for it or they are private paying, I guess they have the option to use the hours any way they want at that point, whether it's for pleasure or work or whatever. Yes. Man, it's a situation, y'all. It is definitely a discussion to be had with so many opinions, so many circumstances and situations that would cause this to be a thing to be an ultimate decision or not to be. It just I don't know. Andrew said the part about the lies you tell was sarcasm. Oh, you mean? But I said I don't know who would keep a daycare open like that. Okay, you said that the parent was lying about needing the child care that those hours, but yes, Angela, there are daycares that are first, second, and third shifts because you have to know that if you're a parent and if you're trying to have a job and they're saying, okay, we're hiring for third shift depending on the kind of job that you have. Say it's at a casino and they have first, second, and third to feed your children. You're like, I gotta have the third shift job. And a lot of people don't have that adult living in the house, and they literally have to get their children and get them ready for bed or take their pajamas to a daycare center and literally have third shift daycare. And you never knew that, Angela. Yes, there are, like, especially in Wisconsin, we have a lot of first, second, and third shift daycares here. A lot. A lot. Especially for some like big factories that we have here that have first, second, and third shift. You'll have a factory that might have women on there, a group of 10 women that may use the same daycare for third shift. Yes, that's true. It's risky, but a single parent has to do what they have to do. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yes. And sometimes the two parent family, what if they both work third shift? They have to do it. I guess they're just flipping their days. And literally to say as it being risky nowadays in these daycares, it doesn't necessarily have to be night or day. The stuff goes down in these daycares sometimes. That's we need to do a daycare segment of things that happen in daycare. We need another topic about that. But things that could possibly happen in daycare can happen around the clock. That nighttime is not going to be the determination of that. That's for sure. Um, I bet so many young moms take advantage of that. They could. They definitely could. They definitely could. That's true. It's risky, but single parent. Yes. Okay. Yes, you're right, Janae. Chris said it goes. Yes, it goes down in the daycare. So don't think that it takes a nighttime for that to happen. That's going to happen. We've had some. I've had heard of a lot of situations that have happened to children where children actually passed away in them and everything else. And those particular ones that I know about, they weren't third shift; they were first shift. Lady Christmas said we have a lot of 24-hour daycare centers. So you do too. Okay. Yes, yeah, we have a lot here. It's a lot. Yes, it's crazy. It's crazy. Hmm. And hence the reason why my children have never been able to just go to a daycare, like because of that. Because my anxiety about that won't let me. I barely was able to let my kids go to school, so it's scary out there. Andrew says I worked at one before, and Kristen ain't lying. Crazy stuff goes on in daycare centers. Yes, we got to talk about that one day because it is a situation. Janae said, I don't trust public daycares. I pay, well, I'm sorry, I pray any parent that has to resort to it. I always pray for parents. Like my niece, she's in an in-home daycare, and we got to have a whole conversation about daycare centers because I have a lot of opinions. I know there's parents out there that say, I'm not going to no group daycare. I'm going to an in-home daycare. And then in the in-home daycare, they find out all the sneaky things that when in the behind the doors, all the things that were going on because there was nobody else there in the building to witness. Then people say, I will never let nobody have my child closed up in a house. Anything can happen. I'm going to take them to the big daycare. Then in the big daycare, the two teachers, the teacher and the teacher's assistant team up to say, we're about to do this and that. Ain't nobody going to see it. We're going to let this go on. We're going to let the kids fight. Anything like daycare to me is scary, period. Why these kids are in here homeschooled now because daycares have always been scary for me. The school is scary for me. And I know you cannot protect your kids from everything, but I still have so much anxiety that just so I don't lose my mind, I just have to know what's going on because in daycare centers, regardless of it being private pay or state paid or in home or a large group or a small group, trust me, I know that it goes down in a daycare center. And it does not matter. You just really have to pray on it. Just like when you're in a school, when the kids are in the school, you have to pray on the school because a lot of people will say, my child goes to a good school or my child's school is a bad school. When it really is no judgment on saying a school is good or bad. What it is that you have good teachers who have a genuine heart, and then you have some who could care less so they just have a job. So that means your child can have a great teacher in first grade but a horrible teacher in third grade. And that's not a reflection of the school at all. That's a reflection of the person. Your child could have had first through fifth grade. You loved it. Each teacher was great. You loved it. You had no problems. If that sixth grade teacher gets started acting a fool at the sixth grade, then you're going to no longer want to say the school is a good school or a bad school. It is totally individual based when you're talking about leaving your children in the hands of other adults. It's totally individual on the end. It's determined by the individual and not the institution. The school building is not going to create good people. The person themselves is what creates a good person over your kids, and that's just a fact. That's a fact. Let me see. Let's see. Lady Christmas said I had to work, so I had to put my kids in daycares at times, and I would feel so guilty. It's so hard to do. I cannot imagine if I would have had to do that. I totally understand you, lady, but people, Lady Charisma, but people literally have to do what they have to do. That's why daycares exist. That's why it's so many daycares. You literally have to do what you have to do. And all you can do is pray over those kids, be as present as you can in those schools or daycare so that the parent will have some compassion for you and your child. That's all you can do because it's a situation that you're never going to be able to call. All you can do is pray over that. Angela says, Janae, I'm with you. I would beg my family and friends to or something, and I'll pay them. Yes, that's hard for parents to do. That's a hard thing. Yes, listen, schools and daycares, y'all better pop up occasionally. Yes. Make sure those teachers and administrators know who you are. Like, you have to do it. And that's only so that they will have some kind of connection to you, so that they can possibly get some kind of connection to your child, because that's the only thing you can stand on. It's nothing that's going to protect that. It's nothing out here to say. Like I said, there is no good school, no bad school, and nothing like that. It's just individual. And you have to just be present to let them know you care about your child. This is one that somebody is out here watching out for, and that's all you can do. Janae said, Lady Charisma, have no guilt. It starts at home. Yes, always keep good faith and trust and God, and trust in God with your babies. That's all you can do, Janae. It's only like a prayer and let them go. Because the thing about it, I remember somebody told me before, they said, it's funny how we are forced as a social unit to give our kids to schools and daycares. And of course, our kids are our most prized possessions. But then on the other hand, if somebody knocked on your door and said, you think I could use your TV for like a week? You look at them like they're crazy, like, you ain't using my TV. And that's only a TV. But with our kids, we literally have to put them on a bus to leave us and go all day long. Trust for them, pray over those 8 hours, and for them to come back in good hands. Same thing with the daycare. You have to go to work, and you have to give your most prized possession over to another human that you don't know what their mental state might be before the end of the day. You don't know what they're going through at home or anything. That's why we only can pray. We only can pray because there's nothing to save us from that. Now, it's so much better nowadays, because nowadays you have so many apps. You can literally turn on that phone and you can watch your kids all day long if you wanted to in that classroom. So that's one thing that I would suggest anybody who is doing daycare this day and age, don't put them in a daycare who does not have cameras, because for one, cameras are so cheap. It is no reason for you to not have that. If you are a daycare center and if you are if you have no problem about hiding anything and you want parents to be open to knowing exactly what their kids are doing, don't send them to one that don't have a camera. I don't care if I had to buy the camera, because the camera ain't nothing but a couple of dollars. If you don't have a camera, let me buy your cameras. And I'll put the cameras in there. Can you please put these in here for whatever reason you don't have them? And let me know what app you're going to be using, because I would have to watch mine all day. And it's so easy to do that. So when they don't have cameras, I'm like, what would be a reason this day and time you don't have a simple camera? I think something is kind of weird with that. If you ask me, it's weird to me. It's weird to me. Let me see. Janae said, oh, don't have any guilt, right? Daycares can be something else. Yes, Saret. Hey, OMG Luscious, where you been, girl? Ain't see you over here in forever. Wait a minute, what did I do with the comment, y'all? Where's OMG? Where have you been? And why aren't you green? Lala Nick said, absolutely a fact. It is a fact. Janae said, me too, Angela. I was blessed with family to take care of mine. And y'all better be thanking God every day, because I don't care if it was years ago. Thank him again, because that was a blessing. Chris said, there are amazing educators out there. There are people that care genuinely, but pop up and make sure they know you. Know that you are invested as a parent, period. Just do it. All you got to do is pop up. OMG said hi to Chris. Chris said hi to OMG. Lady Christmas said, Janae, they grow now except one teenager. But when they were younger, I would worry and pray. Yes. Well, you got through it. You got through it then. Thank God you got through it. Janae said hi to OMG. Mine as well, Lady Christmas. Hers are over that age now too. Chris said, OMG, you got to come back tonight for bingo. Yes, y'all, I'm not even going to keep y'all on here. No, y'all know I will not stop talking. If somebody allow me a platform, just keep on talking, I will keep talking. But I am going to let y'all go because we have bingo. What time is it? Well, I'm just keeping y'all on here. We have bingo at 7 o'clock tonight. OMG said I've been staying out the way. I'll be at bingo, girl. Be at bingo. Don't be staying out the way over here, girl. Get right back over here and make sure you everybody. I want everybody to come to bingo tonight, 7 o'clock. I think we have 16 games. I think 16 games. 1 through 5 is warm ups. 5 through 15 are cat. Well, 5 through 10 is I think they're $5 a game, and I believe y'all don't quote me, but I think that's what I wrote down. Uh, 11 through 15, I think is $10 games, and then there's a buy. Now those are free, but the last game is a buy-in. Right, Janae? I'm sorry, Janae, because my mouth be running, and won't stop. And I can't have y'all in here to interrupt me too much. I keep on saying all the stuff I want to say. That's all I need. But I was on to say, oh, okay, the last game is going to be a buy-in. That one you do have to pay for if you want to participate. That's $5 per card, and then I think it's a $25 payout for that one. So you can decide if you want to buy that last game or not. We're only going to play that if people buy into that one, but the other ones there's no buy-in or anything. You get those winnings free if you win. Let's see. Lady Christmas said, "No, the conversation. No, the." Conversation is good. Maybe charisma. I can't keep y'all on here because I'm expecting for y'all to come right back. I can't keep y'all on here and say, okay, we're going to take this conversation on into 7 o'clock. So y'all got to get y'all dinner by 7 o'clock. Y'all need to get y'all kids situated. Y'all got to get y'all, she said, okay, y'all got to get y'all kids straightened out, get them fed, get them relaxed, because y'all got to be focused on these numbers. Because y'all got to be trying to be a winner. Y'all got to try to be a winner. Janae said, see, I can watch the games, but I'm not too much of a gambler. I'll tap in. Oh, okay. Well, tap in today. It's fun. I think the bingo is fun. You don't necessarily have to gamble. The last game is a $5 game, but you could just shoot out a number for games 1 through 15 and just happen to win. You don't have to buy nothing into that one. Those are free games. Chris said she making her dinner right now. Janae, come try. Yeah, it's fun. Get those numbers. And I'm so mad, y'all, that it's not a way where I can set up one of my phones so y'all can see the board, but I can't do that because it's giving people the numbers that they need to call to make me win. I hate that y'all can't see that, but oh, it went well last time. Okay, Janae says she likes the games. Yes, every Thursday at 7 o'clock is game night over here. I try to do some original games, but then sometimes I do games that people are familiar with. But it's going to definitely be every Thursday, 7 o'clock. Saret must be somewhere cooking. Yeah, Saret probably had. She already did a show earlier. I don't know if she cooked that today or what. Okay, Janae, you're going to come. OMG. I went to, you went to bingo? And it was fun. You love bingo. Okay, OMG, make sure you're in the house. I love seeing who's going to win. We're going to start with the rules of the game right at 7 o'clock. And then hopefully we will get started no later than like 7:15 or so. But I'm going to definitely go through all the rules. Because last time the issue was that people were like, they were like, putting numbers out like 1, 2, 3, stuff like that, like put it out like I got to hit one of them. But to be fair, I'm going to attempt to set up when I leave off this live. I'm going to attempt. Hey, Trical, dang, I'm late, but you're going to be there at 7 o'clock. Okay. I'm going to try to attempt to make the comments where you have to wait at least 10 seconds before you can put a number out there just so that everybody can have the opportunity to get a number in there. Last time it didn't save it for whatever reason, and people were putting it out. So what Shake 'em Up said we could do last time is that when I'm calling the numbers, I will say the name. And when I say your name, then that means you can say another number. But not until I say your name can you put down another number. That's what, if y'all can get that, that's what we did. But I'll explain it again tonight. Let's see. Shaquille said, okay, yeah, Lala Nick said, I'm coming and feeling lucky. Let's go, Lala Nick. Let's go. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to let y'all go. And then anybody who is in here that is not green on my screen, that's going to be my logo. Y'all, not my logo, which is my slogan. Try to be green in my screen. If you are not a member of It's Gamma's World, I want to invite you to become a member. They are $4.99 a month for the silver and $6.99 for the gold. The gold, the perks to being a gold is that you get a discount on my natural skincare products that I have, and that whenever I do any kind of giveaway or the games like tonight, when you are a gold member, you will receive double. So if a game is $5, you get 10. If it's 10, you get 20. Whatever it is, I double whatever it is for my gold member. So that's the perk of being a gold member. And then I'm going to get around to do some gold member only lives and stuff like that. But that's basically what the gold members get. Otherwise, they're $4.99, and I really try to give y'all some good content and opportunities to get something back. So y'all try to become a member of It's Grandma's World. Let me see. Shake 'em up said, y'all better follow the rules. Yeah, Shake 'em up already put it out there. She ain't in the chat right now, but she said last night, don't come here and not follow those rules. Make her job hard. Try to moderate. So okay, y'all. So it is 4:28. It's almost 4:30. So we're gonna get out of here so that y'all can get right back here at 7 o'clock. Y'all don't be late. At about 6:50, wrap up whatever you're doing so y'all can be in here, or get in a place where you can do something and put your number in there so you can be a winner. But other than that, y'all have a good afternoon until I see y'all this evening. And I see y'all in a minute.